I'm gonna basically talk about who I am and what I bring to the table and why you guys should listen to me and or why you should at least you know um, wanna consider my proposal or the value, right? What is it that I have to say? Well, let's. I'm gonna basically talk about myself. My name is Amit Mora. Like I said, I am a student, MBA student, currently doing at George Washington University here in Washington D.C. I love that program. I, After I got my first master's degree at George Mason University back in 2017 in information, they call it applied information technology. So I basically concentrated in cybersecurity. Um, I am I specialize in software development, mainly in testing for now. I started out as a software developer, moved to testing side, um, and I have done cybersecurity. I have worked big name, the big fours, and mainly done federal government IT type of support work. What else? My education. I moved here and back in 2004 with my family. Of course, at that point I did not knew much English. I struggled a lot, especially in English. Not that because I was lazy, but it was just simply because the language barrier and the cultural is a lot different environment where I came from. I came from literally a village type of simple lifestyle to essentially first world with almost totally different problem and totally different system. So it took me a while to adjust and understand what they were. So I really like my ESL classes back in 2005, 6, and 7, like, and even 8 to extend. I did after a while. I decided to take myself out of ESL because I felt my ESL teachers were holding me back, and I kind of wanted to just throw myself in and see what would happen. Well, that was a mistake. I should have stayed in, but outside of that, you know, I loved basically being active. So when I came in, I decided to basically play any sport I could get my hands on. I played baseball, even though I didn't understood the rule. I don't need, the coach basically put me in because I was the only Indian, and I kind of nobody wanted to try out, so they needed more people, I guess. So that was very nice of him. I did soccer. That was nice. The football. I mean, I did like the playing aspect of it. I could never master the basketball, and even though how it doesn't matter how much I tried. In high school, I decided to basically graduate a year early. That was because I had a summer school 1 year. I took art science, and here it only requires you to have. Um, if you do all your electives right, you can graduate 1 year early, and decided to go to community college because at that point, I mean, I didn't thought I had much shot going in 4 year university. I didn't really. I mean, I started working in um, 2008, 9 or 10, around that time period. It, Basically, my first job was at McDonald's being cashier. I mean, I knew English, so I took a lot of orders being cashier. I did a lot of overtime because a lot of the student would call off. I was working while I was in high school, like you name it, hours. I just simply worked because I had nothing else better to do, and that was my first job, and I just wanted to get a lot of money. I was very happy when I would get that paycheck, that $200, $300. That was, you know, I saved at that time. I mean, I wasn't really going out or anything. I saved all of those money. I used that in my community college. In my community college, it was very interesting. I mean, I ended up doing IT degree. I was actually going for science degree. One of my friend, he actually convinced me to, my best friend, actually convinced me to do an IT or at least try it, and I actually fell in love with it. So I did associate, then transferred to bachelor. 4-year university. George Washington at that point was doing a special come in and complete your bachelor degree. So I did that. So I got my bachelor from George Washington University, which I never in 2012. If you ask me, I didn't even heard of them. In 2013, I graduated with my associate, and I decided to transfer there. It's a very nice university. I mean, it's a private university. I mean, they're like Georgetown is right there, George Washington is right there. I just like that university. I think it's very very uniquely done. The professors are very nice. I just like their concept better than any other university. After after bachelor, I decided to continue to do my master's. I actually transferred back to public university. Here we have after most people graduate, they can go to, it's called George Mason University. It's local university. I mean, it's a state owned, right? I mean, I really wanted to go there while in high school, but there was no way I would have been able to go in to do my bachelor because I was not there in terms of English wise. I was a struggling student. My English been the wasn't the greatest reading and writing. So, but in masters, because I had a bachelor and master's program, it was a lot easier for me to get in. So I did that, and that was in 2017. I graduated. About a year ago, in 2019, in August, I decided to enroll for MBA. It's another master's degree. Most people think I'm crazy to do another master's, but I don't think so because I am trained engineer, right, from the college. And mainly in software development and software engineering and cybersecurity, right? That two aspects. Um, I do think business. There's a lot more things that we can learn about business, and being business entrepreneur is something that we all should strive for. At least try to learn as much as possible, and it's a very big part of our life that governs us. That we should know what's there. Uh, I don't. I like to know as much as possible about any subject that or anything that is related to me. Um, so actually, in terms of entrepreneur, in 2010, while I graduated my high school, my dad wanted to open a pizza business, so I kind of helped him. So since then, I've been helping him on and off, running his pizza store. So it's family type of store, kind of more or less. So that's where actually my entrepreneurship actually took, and especially finance aspect of it, or how do you make a business like grow. So that's why I'm doing still MBA, because I wanted to learn from the best, and George Washington is one of the best university out there, especially around here for me to access in DC area. Okay, so let's decide, why am I doing finance video at this point? Well, my channel is about whatever I'm passionate. My passion is at this current moment is dividend investing, investing in general, traveling. Although I haven't made any traveling videos yet, but I will when actually going in after coronavirus. So dividend investing, I've always been passionate, but not the dividend part of it. Dividend part of it in the last couple of years, maybe 2 years, I would say. But investing for a long time. after learning, I mean, Bitcoin. I mean, if you guys remember back in while I was in college, I heard when they were pennies and when they were in $1,000, when they went to $10,000. By the time they hit $15,000, I decided to do a mining operation. I spent about $50,000 to do to basically turn my house into a mining operation. That was a mistake. I lost all my money, and that's because when Bitcoin crashed to like $2,000, I kind of panicked and I didn't have a backup plan to or to be able to survive that storm. So I had to shut it down and basically get out of that business. So that led me to basically further explore what is it, what is money. I mean, and how much impact does it have on you. And since then, basically, I have looked at many ways. Basically, how do you look at an investment or any other business for that matter? How do you evaluate so that your risk is low, right? It's all about risk. I mean, what is your tolerance, right? I mean, if you have a lot of money, I'm sure nobody wants to lose money, but that's a video for another time. But even in investing videos, right? If you look at the dividend investing, really? Why do I like that video? Because I mean, I live almost 30 miles away from DC. I have to wake up 5:30, 6 o'clock, and go to DC, fight off almost hour and a half, 2 hour traffic to go to work, and then come back and do the same thing again for 5 days a week. That to me is very. Oh, my hours are very important. I mean, if I had enough money, obviously, then I didn't have to go to work, or at least I could choose to where they had to wake up at 5:30, or I did have to wake up, but I didn't have to fight that traffic every day, or I mean, right now it's not that even though it's not a substantial amount of money that I have invested, that whatever I'm showing you guys in my platform so far, like Fundrise, Stash, or Acon, or any other that I'm gonna show you in the future and going forward, I might give you some educational videos as well. What is the money, and how is it that impacts us, right? In some ways that you might have never thought of it, or you know, um, it's very interesting. We should talk about money, I think, more often. Um, what else? For his education, yeah, I already told you this is my second master's. For his work, I always had a full time job almost for last 7 years. I've been working, supporting in IT industry, a lot of government work mainly. I, it's a contract work, so in contract business, basically, sometimes you have projects, sometimes you don't. So I mean, I have done other jobs, like for example doing DoorDash, driving Ubers to, at my own dad's pizza place. I've done a lot of delivery drivers. I have a lot of job. I have held a lot of jobs in that kind of regards. One time I was a salesperson for. I was horrible at it. Literally, the manager said, "Man, at this rate, I think all my customers are gonna go somewhere else." So I'm not a best salesperson, but what I don't like when people rip other people off. I like, I was always educating people, like, hey, look, you could buy this here, or you can go buy somewhere else, or the service plan that I'm selling you is not really worth it, because you might be paying $10 here, but really after 2 years, you could actually throw away and buy the exact same thing for like $3, because the price of that electronic would be a lot cheaper. So for those reasons, I wasn't the best salesperson. Um, what can you expect in my videos? You can expect very unique perspective about what I'm doing, and my goal is to not kind of be all over the place, because I feel like there's a lot of YouTube videos where you can go and watch those. My goal is to kind of give you very unique perspective in terms of money and how you can secure your life so that you don't have to, you know, work your entire life, or you just started to work, right? Like I'm about 27, right? What can you do with that money? How do you want to save it? And while you invest it, let's have fun with it, right? I mean, if we happen to live after past that 65 retirement age, I mean, be might as well just become millionaire at that point, because if we did everything right now, we will be. All right. So my goal is to kind of show you different ways to think about money. Whether it's the platform itself, right? I mean, platform is a very big deal because you have to use some kind of platform in order to kind of put your money in to work for you. But even to entrepreneurship, what are things that works, and what have I seen, and what other people are doing, but take a unique perspective in that. All right, guys. So let me know what else you guys want to know about me. All right. I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you.